Good afternoon, folks. Hope you guys are off to a nice Thursday. Going to give just a little bit more time here for people to log in, and then we'll get started. Right now, I've only got 21. I know I have at least one absent, but hopefully not too many more. Just a reminder, please have your videos on so that I know you're here, please, and you're not out to lunch. All right. Well, we're going to move forward here. Still missing a couple people, but can't worry too much about that. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again as usual. And today we're going to get one more. Today we're going to be doing some group work. And so if you go to, you guys will do this once I've done it, but we're going to go to modules, and we are going to go down to chapters 10 to 13, and you're going to see what is called Themes Day, chapter 13 and 14. So I'm going to click on that. All right, so these directions are going to be a little bit long, so I need you guys to really focus in here since it's the first day we're doing this. Once we do this a few times, it's going to feel like riding a bike. It's not going to be difficult, okay? But you're going to be placed in a group and assigned an AP theme. Your responsibility is to go through the textbook reading, your notes, and in-class notes and discussion, and record the specific changes that transpired according to your theme. Then you will be responsible for relating your theme to at least one thing that happened similarly in another civilization in relation to your theme. So basically, we're working on comparison and synthesis then at that point. At this point in the course, since we're relatively new, you're going to have to try to relate it to one of the ancient civilizations or classic civilizations that was before 600 CE. But once we do this a few weeks, you're going to be able to make comparisons and connections to other civilizations within your theme pretty easily. Okay. If you have more, when I say comparison, I'm looking for similarities, not differences, obviously. So if you have more similarities about the civilizations there in this chapter and where it would have happened elsewhere, include those in your group discussion and in your notes. Now, here's how this is going to work. Once you get divided into your group, you're going to pick one person to be the group leader. All group members will be expected to participate and share their input. So I'll be bouncing around from different rooms, listening, making notes on those who are participating. Your group will have 12 minutes to organize the information on your theme in comparison or comparisons. Your group will be graded as a group, but individuals can lose points for not participating or being off task. So you need to be responsible and make sure that you have your video on and that you're ready to participate. Once you are done and time is up, you're going to submit your group notes as a Canvas discussion post with all group members' names on the post. All right, that's going to be down here in the reply section. Then we're going to go through the themes, and one person from each group will talk through your post with the class. Okay, so Once you pick the leader, also make sure you figure out before you're done who is going to be the one that's going to walk us through your notes as a class. And every student then will take notes as each group presents their information. You'll take notes in the themes like you probably already have, but you can add to them. Or if that's not how you're taking notes, you can just take notes into these categories. And then this is going to serve as an unbelievable study tool for you for the AP exam. And this is how you guys are going to rock the exam this year, because you're going to easily be able to go back and you're going to have all this information and you're going to have comparisons to other civilizations right in front of you. Okay. So this is very important for the AP test. And then also it's going to help you study for my tests in here as well. Before I move forward, I'd like to see if anyone has a question before I can start the groups and we can get going. Okay, does anybody have a question? Okay, Brooke, what's the question?
So we're basically just summarizing our notes that we had in our topic.
Well, you're going to be discussing it because my guess is not everybody has the same. And you also need to include stuff that we talked about in class from chapter 13, and then what we talked about yesterday with the signification of Japan, Korea, and Namibia. Okay, so you're going to be synthesizing, taking all that information, putting it together, and then you're going to use that to compare it to how it would have happened at another place in another time, or at the same time in another place. So yeah, you're right, but it's a little more complex than that. Anybody else? Okay. Where you're going to submit your group notes then is right here on the reply. Make sure you have the name of your group, the names, and then I'll probably be a little more lenient. I'll start the 12 minutes after I get everyone into their groups, but that's not a lot of time because we have to have time to share and go over how to do the debate tonight. Or the discussion tonight. So if there's not further questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. And I'm going to start us in the breakout rooms. Okay, so there'll be 3 to 4 people in each breakout room. Remember, pick one leader, figure out who's going to do the sharing. Doesn't have to be the leader. It can be somebody else. And then make sure you're ready to submit, okay? Here's Grace. Somebody's gonna need to explain the directions to Grace so that she knows what's going on, okay? Whoever's in her group, thank you. All right, that looks good. I'm going to open the rooms and go get at it.
technology and innovation.
Yeah, like there wasn't that much for this chapter, I think, or I didn't pull up that much.
So can I interject? I'm just sorry to interrupt you. So you guys have humans in the environment, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot, but there are a couple important things that are pretty foundational. Did the population go up in East Asia or down?
Oh, up.
Okay, so that's the general trends you're going to talk about is the population growth during the Tang Dynasty and then also during the Song Dynasty. If you remember the slide that I showed you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Grace and Vivian, it'd be polite if you guys could get a camera on so that you know you're participating, okay? And then, what about, was there any type of like, was there any type of like farming or anything that helped grow this population?
I'm trying to reread because I don't think I wrote anything down.
Maybe.
Did you guys maybe pick up on a particular type of like crop or a maybe like a variation of a seed?
Wasn't rice ground like the popular one? Was like
Yeah.
chomp
There you go. Now we're on the right track.
Okay.
Called?
pink rice?
Yeah, champa rice. So that was one of the reasons why the population was able to grow. Okay. In terms of the environment, also, where could that champa rice be planted?
Well, from your notes on the slide, it says it grew in North and South, China, and like it was drought resistant. So I
Okay.
guess anywhere.
Yeah, so it could be cultivated in real dry areas and mountainous areas, and then also in where it was flooded as well. So it was a much tougher seed. Okay, so that's going to be an environmental effect. Try to try to think also about how the environment like shapes Japanese culture. How we talked about how Japan was broken up into 300 states yesterday during its feudal period because it's mountainous and it's also a series of islands. Those are the things you're going to be looking for um, the humans in the environment. Okay. I think waterways also might help you too. Okay, I don't want to give you guys all the answers, cause you think a little bit, and then try to compare this to other civilizations. Okay, that's where your biggest test is going to be here. The one thing about this group, I thought this group was kind of a joke last year too. And then all of a sudden, what happened was one of the like half the kids in my class got a DBQ on environmental effects. So we really got to pay attention to this year, okay? All right, guys, keep at it. We'll talk to you in a few minutes.
I think
Yes.
So yeah,
Hmm.
I'll start on the reply.
Yeah.
maybe you have to post a reply to see other ones. So maybe you could type it in the chat.
I don't think I typed in. I don't think I made you reply before you could see other ones. I don't think anyone posted anything yet.
Okay.
All right, so you guys have a big one here. This is the golden age of China. These are some of the most foundational pieces of technology that will shape the earth and will cause, after the Silk Trade route and the Crusades, this will cause the Europeans to end up with a huge advantage. So what did you guys like? What pieces of technology and innovation did you think are most important that you're going to talk about?
We're talking about the junk ships.
Good. What else?
That's pretty much the main thing we've been talking about.
Yes.
How about like banks, paper money, wheelbarrows, new types of fertilizer. You guys really got to go back through your notes, okay? And even you have access to all my slides and everything. There's a lot on here that you guys can use. The abacus, that was like an early calculator that was used to do math. Okay, so counting on you guys coming in clutch in this particularly in this one, because this again during the Tang and the Song, woodblock printing was really important, and paper being made more accessible. Guys, those are some of the ideas. You guys really go through it. We're down to about 3 minutes or so. I'll probably give people a little longer. Okay, I gotta go check on the next room.
Okay.
Thanks. Muted too. All right. Hey, I see all of our mics are muted. What do we? Do you guys have any questions about governance? How this would affect basically East Asia from about 1,000 to 1,400? Who was the most influential government in this chapter, in these two chapters? Starts with
Did you
four
say-
letters and it ends with a T. Or it starts with a T and ends in a four-letter word.
Tang, the
Tang.
Tang Dynasty.
Okay, the Tang Dynasty. Okay, they were so powerful that, and their bureaucracy, their government.
They were developed to be like protectors of like higher people, and they were like mirrored.
They were so important that they literally, and so ahead of other civilizations, that they spread their court system to China, Korea, or to Japan, Korea, and Vietnam. Right? I mean, this was the model government system in East Asia for close to 1,000 years or longer. Make sure you talk about the Ministry of Rights. Okay, civil service exams. Did you guys catch all those already? Okay, you really got to go through your notes. I'm starting to wonder, because you're not the only group, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. But you guys got to go. Governance is like expansion too. Which one of these was the largest? Remember the Tang was the largest, the Song was the smallest. You're gonna go over the scholarly gentry class, how they were elevated in position. In Japan, you want to talk about how they had the court, and then it turned into a tent government of the Bakufu, and it turned into a feudal state. You guys have a big section here. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys talk. I don't know why all of you are on mute, so I'm gonna get out of here and let you guys hopefully do some research here. I'm gonna give everybody a few more minutes.
Yeah, we should probably talk about like the political
can
and
you restate
military
that?
stuff.
You say that.
Hi guys, are you going to talk about Neo-Confucianism?
Oh, that would be a great one to talk about.
Yeah,
Yes, it would.
yeah, that's pretty important. It shaped a lot of these cultures.
Well, yeah,
Yes, it did.
I was thinking, I said, or something about like the exams, like the Neo-Confucian exams. I think that would be a good
The civil service exams.
exam systems.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Civil
civil
service
service exams. Yeah.
Okay. But
Okay.
remember, Buddhism was very important at first, right? So if you guys have that,
We
We
talking
have
about
to-
Zen Buddhism.
okay.
So near. Oh, sorry.
And then remember, it resulted in foot binding. People can always relate to that as well. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on the right track. You guys gotta come on, guys. We gotta get this
I
going.
know.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta leave and go check on one more group. All right, keep going. I'm muted. Hey, all right, guys. How we doing?
Good.
We could use some more time though, if that's possible.
I think that's gonna happen to everyone, and I know this class ends in 18 minutes. We're never gonna get through this, so we're gonna have to go with what we got. Do you guys for economic systems? Basically, this is I'm sure you're gonna talk about banks, right? Flying money, the credit system that developed during the Tang that made trading way easier. The trade along the canal that was connected by the Sui and the Tang, and then probably the Silk Trade Route, and then also I'm guessing trade with Japan and Korea and Vietnam because the Tang influenced these areas. Is there anything else? Do you guys have questions? This is the last time I visited here.
Yeah, did you say we had to compare China to like other ancient civilizations?
Yeah. So what like in this time period, you have massive growth, okay, during the Tang Dynasty, right? That's the rebirth of China. Who would you like? What other civilization would you relate that to that had similar growth?
We did
Mesopotamia. Because
Yeah.
they made like their farming that had a surplus of food, so they had
Okay.
to do with the food.
They also both had taxes systems and both used slave labor and heavily relied on trade.
Okay, that works. Yeah, that would work on an essay. I would probably relate it to maybe even a previous dynasty like the Han. Like basically they reunited with the Han had and made it better. Reconnected the Silk Trade Route. So you could talk about how Han China and the Roman Empire were connected, and then the Tang reconnected trade with the Middle East and Constantinople. It's hard because you guys don't have all that already. Usually we cover this after that. So, all right, I got to break out of this room. You guys got about a minute left. All right, did a good job. So breakout room 5. You guys were all here very early. I assume you finished then.
Yeah.
Okay, because every other group that I got to wasn't close to done. How's that mac and cheese, Sam?
Good. I didn't really get to eat much lunch.
Okay. Try to get that eaten before class starts, all right? Tell Wes to get on his cooking skills. Gotta get that cheese and milk poured into those noodles faster. Get that water boiling. All right. Do I have everyone back here? Yeah. All right, awesome. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. So we're going to go back. I'm gonna check out you guys try to submit these. I'll go back to discussions and update it. I should have some submissions. I got 4 groups, which means I'm missing 2. Group 5. I have random. Whoa, now I'm confused. I got group 3 and I got 2 random ones. Okay, Brooke and Lillian, you guys need to classify yours as to what theme you are. And then I also need names like these other 2 groups did, please. Oh, okay. This is the first time. I understand people might make some mistakes. All right, so group 1, humans in the environment. You're gonna be the ones that are gonna go first. And oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry, let me share the screen. There we go. All right. Group 5, that's what it's supposed to look like. Nice job. So Lillian, I need Zafian Short. I need you to edit that and make sure that your theme is at the top here. And I got group 3 looks good. I need Brooke to do the same thing, and then I'm missing some groups.
I like put a comment on mine later, like down below, that says all of our names and our group number. You might have to reload. I think it should pop up. Yep.
It will. All right, so group 1. Whoever's going to share, you are humans in the environment. Where are we? Let's go.
We didn't have time to submit because we were still trying to find comparisons, but I can read what we have down right now.
Go ahead and do that. The class will go ahead and compare their notes. Let's do that.
Okay, so we said that population grew during the Song Dynasty and people began to grow more champa rice. And the Song Dynasty created the largest cities on Earth at that time, which we tried connecting to the environment because of urbanization. And then the Hangzhou city had a lot of canals and bridges to travel, so that's how they used their environment. And the last thing we put was due to a lack of trees. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he had tens of thousands of workers dig up large trees and replant them miles away for a game park that he was constructing.
All right, what would population growth, what other civilization might that compare to? Are we experiencing massive population growth in the 20th and 21st centuries?
Yeah, I suppose.
No supposing. Absolutely. Okay. Yes. So yes would be the correct answer. So that would be a good comparison to the after the Industrial Revolution, how the population grew and how cities and urbanization grew. Okay, good job. We got group 1. Let's go group 2. That's gonna be cultural development and interaction. Do you have your stuff up here? I'm hoping you do. Where is okay, right here. All right. You guys should see on my screen, and whoever's gonna lead us. Let's do it.
So we had development and interaction of cultures. So some stuff that we really emphasized on is the influence that China had on Japan and how like China's development in art and poetry and architecture translated into Japan, and also how Neo-Confucianism was really emphasizing like the way that a household should be like run, and that Buddhism was not, or that they were trying to say that Buddhism was not really worthy of being in empire and shouldn't be there. And then also foot binding in the Tang dynasty with women that restricted their mobility, and how the samurai in the Japan later they were developed to like protect the higher and elite people, and how they were also representations of like the classical period from Japan and Zen Buddhism, like in their armor, and how they had an honorable death for them. And then one similarity that we had is that Japanese art was modeled after Chinese pottery and architecture, and that the practice of Buddhism was both in Japan and China.
Okay, good. Good job. All right, so the spread of Buddhism and Chinese culture into Japan could be something that also could be similar would be how European culture spread to the United States. You could, or to the North America, and you could use the 13 colonies as an example in a copy of the government structure at first. Okay, good. All right, let's go group 3. Governance. Take it away. Let's go. We're at about 8 minutes, so we got to do it pretty fast. I'm gonna give you, let's say, like the 5 key highlights here.
Okay, so throughout like the Tang dynasty, government, social classes, and power had like a major impact on China, including like religion when it came to like to Buddhist and Neo-Confucianism. And like social classes like the Bukufu government like separated power and the people and gave authority and control to the elite, but also the peasants with like their protection. And then there's also like a lot of exams that a lot of like men had to take just to like stay in their society and their upper class. And Tang rulers also didn't really want women to have a lot of power, so they kind of made it like standards for them, so they stayed inside their house. And then our like connection or whatever was like the classical periods with like the Greeks and Romans. Like they kind of had like the same like social structure. Like there was someone at the top who like ordered everyone else, but like they gave them land and money, and then for that they like the people below him like gave protection or whatever. And then the Romans and Greeks also had like representatives who went to court and kind of like the tent and like the feudalist system. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Good job, guys. Everyone's clapping for you in class. Okay, group 4, economic systems. What do we got?
All right, so we compared the economic systems of the Shang dynasty to Mesopotamia. We talked about how both of them heavily relied on slave labor, because in the Shang dynasty, about 5% of the population was slaves. And also, we know Mesopotamia was the first place to use like taxes, and the Shang dynasty also had taxing, and they both used silver like
Shang,
coins.
are you referring to Tang? Just curious.
SH. Sorry, Shang, not
The
Shang.
Shang dynasty was the first Chinese dynasty, like way, way long ago, 5,000 years ago.
Okay.
The Tang dynasty was like 1,200 years ago. Which one are you? Are you referring to the one that we were talking about the last couple of days?
Yes.
That would be Tang, okay? T-A-N-G. Okay, good.
We also.
Go ahead.
No, it's good. I don't have anything else to say.
All right, that's good. And Silk Road would be a very important one there, if you have it written down for economic systems. All right, social interactions and organization. Are you guys on here?
Yeah, we were the very first one.
Gotcha. All right, you got about 1.5 minutes or so. Hit it.
Okay, so our group did social interactions and interaction, and basically we talked about how the Tang dynasty expanded into Central Asia, and it reopened and protected the silk trade routes, and goods were exported overseas, and the Chinese economy became based on commerce. We thought that people living in urban areas was a good thing to talk about. And another thing that was good with like the classes and how people are ranked, we talked about the scholar gentry and how they were at the top of the system, and they got a curved roof, and that like symbolized them in a way.
We also talked about foot binding and how women were seen as better if their feet were like binded and stuff, and how like that would help them get like married and stuff. Aristocratic families were replaced by scholar gentry, and the Song dynasty also paid tributes to kingdoms living beside them.
The Japanese. I'm gonna cut you off. This is really good. You guys gonna have to read it on your own. You got that. You hit the hammer. You hit the nail on the head there. Okay. Group 6. Where are you guys on here? Did you put your stuff on?
Yeah, we put it on.
Where is it? What's it called?
It's Lily.
Oh, here we go. All right. You guys are gonna have to look at this on your own tomorrow. I'm sorry to cut you off. I need to draw your attention to the debate or the discussion prep for tomorrow, okay? So, what I have on the screen right here is discussion prep for tomorrow, okay? So we're going to review all this material again in an inner-outer discussion. Half of you are going to be in the inner circle tomorrow. Half of you are going to be in the outer circle, and we're going to be doing this through Zoom, okay? I have the directions on here for the inner circle. You'll have to participate twice. You don't have to take any notes tonight other than make sure you're comfortable with the material. Outer circle, you're going to have to write 5 questions. You're going to be turning them in tomorrow after our discussion, and you're going to have to ask a minimum of 1 question tomorrow during our discussion. The inner circle, you will have to participate a minimum of twice to get your points. Okay? The outer circle, as you write your discussion questions, your 5 that you need to have. I have Bloom's taxonomy on here so you can see the depth of which I want the questions. And they should not be a simple yes or no question. They should be a something, the complexity that's going to make people make a judgment. You can see comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis. Okay, these are all the verbs that I would like you to use and think about when you're making your questions. Okay. Now, this week, we'll flip each week. This first week, Stanley, I'm not exactly sure how to say your last name, Adeyonu, Kim Aiken, Sam Barker, Katya, Brooke Brown, Kaylee Croach, not here, Luella, Lily Dole, Hannah Hiddle, Lucy Hiddle, Ashton James, Grace Lane, and Lucy McJunkins. Okay, you are on the inner circle tomorrow. So you do not have to do the questions. If you guys want to look at my attendance roster, that's going to be basically from McJunkins up right here. McJunkins up, inner. Okay, Nyla Mitchell and everybody here. So that's Mitchell, Moore, Poor, Ray, Sider, Sewell, Shea, Taylor, Torrijos, Trevino, White, Whitmore, Wilson, Zoppi, and Short. All of you are on the outer circle tomorrow, and you have to do your questions, okay? Inner circle, you're smiling, but you're going to have to talk tomorrow. Be ready to answer the questions. Obviously, you can have all of your notes in front of you. And I need you guys, I'm going to upload this right now to Canvas on the passing period. But I need you guys to read through the instructions carefully. Everyone's going to be graded on 20 points tomorrow, okay? All right, I know there's not a lot of time for questions. Does anybody have a question? Hopefully this goes a little smoother. I know we didn't have enough time today, but I appreciate everyone's efforts in trying to make this work. It's going to get better. And you guys are going to destroy the AP test if we can keep doing this. That's a good thing. All right, any questions? I'm going to upload that right now, and it'll be on your modules for chapters 10 to 13, the inner-outer discussion, okay? All right, folks, get to your next class. Thank you all.
So, Mr. Burnett, my group wasn't really that productive. So I'm really sorry about how it turned out. I was the only one doing it, but I'm really sorry. That was
Well, the thing is, it's very difficult to figure this out, on Zoom. So we will, what we're going to do is work on participation on Zoom, but since that's kind of the first time, don't worry about it. I'm not taking any points off, okay? But we'll be switching groups around too. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, see ya. Bye.